Welcome, dear chess viewers. Again, this is Fide Chess Master Sohan Phadke, and we are back to this attacking series of Art of Attack. And I'm really sorry for a lot of delay. It took too much work, and maybe the specs which I'm wearing today, maybe that is the reason it got delayed. Okay, sorry again, and we are back with a new episode. And the episode of today's discussion is Dragonfire. By the way, Dragonfire, if you are Game of Thrones fan, then you might know what this Dragonfire is. It rapidly spreads, and it is more. I mean, the dragon image can easily be. Anyone can imagine a dragon that is a bishop. I mean, the bishop sitting on g7 and pouring down his fire till a1 square. So just imagine that this is a bishop, and it's pouring down the fire till a1. So this is a general image back in 90s when Garry Kasparov employed dragon variation, unfortunately against Anand, and he won some games, but the opening got a lot of popularity. And from that point of time, whenever a bishop is there and it is emitting some power, this image of a dragon emitting fire came to my mind. So we are going to discuss some. I think we have discussed something about the snipers, but this is altogether a little different. It is more to the heart of the bishop, like how this dragon fire can literally burn the king which is standing in front of that fire, or any piece. So let's get back to the chess, and we'll start as usual. We'll start with the very easy ones, and at the end of the session we are going to have a small treat, and we are going to see the game of my beloved, our beloved player Bobby Fischer, and that is to the end of the game. So let us explain this Dragonfire in practice, and how this Dragonfire image came to my mind, and how I used to use it in my own games. So it's White's turn to play. What should White do? As you can see, a weak king on g8. So naturally, if just imagine a dragon is there, he's going to burn this king on g8 with his Dragonfire. So with all these hints, I don't think that will be difficult for you. What will you do? Yeah, rook e7, good move. And don't forget the knight on g5. So queen f7 is always a threat. So if bishop or knight takes, we are going to mate with f7. So naturally the queen has to take, and the Dragonfire, the thing which I wanted to stress is the queen d5. So this diagonal thing, the diagonal, diagonal is equal to Dragonfire. So diagonal, if you can sense a blood in that diagonal, if you can see a weak diagonal, just this bishop can be devastating, and there are thousands of examples, and the more you think of it, more you can feel what I am trying to earnestly tell you, and how I came to this image of Dragonfire. So queen d5 check, and this king is burnt under this Dragonfire. So this was the first example of exactly what it means by Dragonfire. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, it's Black's turn to play. What should Black do? Please take your time. Sorry, I flipped the board. And here you can also sense that these rooks are also doing a good job. But as you can see, I think in my detail attacking notes, a diagonal which a defender doesn't have, this diagonal can be called as weak. And if the opponent has the bishop on c6, it makes king's life on h1 very difficult. So it's Black's turn to play. What should Black do in the given position? There are not much things to discuss in this position. It's all about this bishop getting into part. And who is defending the e4? Right now, this e4 is the fortress, or I would say the main defense point of White's king. So if we can get through, this bishop is going to burn the king on h1. So who is defending on e4? The queen. So this needs to be distracted. This needs to be driven out. How to do that? Well, this solution, or I would say this problem, has two solutions. Even if you can find one, that's enough. So you just have to get this queen out of d4. How will you do that? Okay, the move is rook d2, and if anybody found queen b6, well done. This is also a very good move. Not much to say that this queen doesn't belong to this diagonal, and very soon, say, I don't know, maybe say queen d3. I think we can just play queen h2, queen b2, and this is going to be mate. So queen b6 also works. Rook d2 was played in the game. And what should white do? White just plays queen e3. As you see, if you can play queen d2, the bishop e4 is mate. The dragon fire burns the king. So the queen goes to e3. So the queen tries to protect the dragon fire, but it's not enough. So we need to hit the other point, and that is the h2 square. How will you do that? Earlier, if queen b6, queen b2 was the move, but here you can just play rook g2, and rook h2 was mate. So if queen tries to play queen h3, we are happy to play. Yeah, maybe just maybe rook h2, or should we play bishop e4? Bishop e4 goes into check. I think this is enough. Check, and you just give a check, and after takes, you just take one. This is enough to win the game. That's fine. So the dragon fire again proves very, very deadly, and I mean the consequences of dragon fire is the king or the pieces literally get burnt under that fire. I mean, if you can try to feel this bishop's power, you can see that this king is burning, and this bishop is emitting a dragon fire on h1. Okay, so two very easy picks. Now we are going slightly in detail. Like if we get a position which is little bit mixed up in a jungle, how we can sort out into this pieces of dragon fire. Alright, next position, it's white to play. What should white do in the given position? Let me flip the board. So take your time. You need to calculate some dragons which are hovering around this king, and they sense the blood. So what should white do? Okay, we need to break the fortress. Without the king cover, or I would say without the fortress destroyed, the dragons cannot emit the fire. I mean, the fire will be just on the fortress. It won't reach out the king. So we need to clear the fortress. Knight e6, no doubt about it. And will you play queen e6 or will you play queen g6? Dragon fire. If you play queen e6, maybe that's okay, but I think after bishop e7, I don't know how should white proceed, because these guys are not yet ready. They need at least two moves to quickly get out, like say bishop d3 and bishop g6, something like that. So we need this quickly. It's not coming. So not queen e6, but queen g6. Brilliant check. King goes to e7, and now two dragons. Just like Game of Thrones, two dragons come and they destroy the White Walkers. What will you do? Yeah, we need the lone dragon of this dragon fire doesn't win, so we need a knight d5 check, and the king cannot go. Again, helping stones. Again, everything is coming back. If you can try to remember my previous videos, that the helping stones do come. I mean, the king would love to, come on, yeah, the king would love to play king d7, but it's not going to happen because the knight is there. The king cannot. King would love to go to d8. He's cursing his queen. He would love to go to d8, but he cannot. So he has to take ed5, and now the second dragon joins the party with big effect. Bishop b4 check, and it's game over. I mean, he can play knight c5 just to clear this helping stone, but look at these dragons. Look at the dragon fire. Try to feel it, how this king might be feeling. How will you checkmate the king now? How will you finish this game in style? Yeah, e6, good move. The king goes to c6. And what's the last move of the game? If you can remember what I tried to teach in the previous lessons, or I would say not lessons, previous videos, this is too much of online classes, you make you feel lessons. So what was the top thing which I tried to stress pretty much dominantly? Like, if you go for a checkmate and the checkmate is not coming, fine, you can win material. It's not that you have to chase this king all day, all night. Sometimes the king is lucky, fine, but he has abandoned his army. What about that? You will say, thank you, okay, no checkmate, fine, I take your queen. e7 check, king takes the bishop, and you take ed8 queen. And sooner or later, this queen is going to get, the king is going to get mated. So everything is interrelated. If you can see, there are so many beautiful attacking, or I would say treasure hidden on this beautiful chessboard. These pieces act and they create some treasures. It's up to us, so ordinary mortals, I would say, to create something and which will make us happy. So this dragon fire definitely destroyed the king, but the checkmate was not possible. Fine, I win your queen, and white wins the game. Alright, so I think by now you got the brief idea. Like, suppose you sense a weak diagonal, a bishop or a queen can be deadly. They will just destroy whatever is coming in between their dragon and the diagonal. So now the last two examples are tricky. This one is not that tricky actually, but the last one is everyone's favorite. It is, I think it is called the game of the century of Bobby Fischer, and I just love this dragon fire technique. No wonder Bobby Fischer liked bishops over the knights. Alright, let's first solve this one. White to play. What to do? We have developed army, so there is no further development. We already are developed, so it is time to strike. And if not now, then when? So yeah, queen f5 is possible, g6 can come. You can try to create a diagonal battery, but this knight somehow, whoops, knight somehow defends. It's fine. Okay, so what you should do here, let me remove the marks. What should white do? Yeah, as we discussed in the second example, we need to clear the fortress in order to get the dragon fire going. Rook takes at 6, bam, check. If he doesn't take, then I think we are more than happy. Now I think just queen g4 maybe. It's just winning. Okay, so he takes, and now see, listen, the fortress is gone. There is no brick, there is no stone which can protect the king, at least to the prime of Ashi. So yeah, queen's f5 check, king goes to g8. The fortress is gone, so this road is clear. Check, king goes to g7. And now it's up to you how to find the remaining checkmate. Yeah, check, king goes here. Bishop c5, the king will escape. Yeah, what to do? Okay, queen e5 check. I think all of you are calculating with me, right? See, if you just see the videos, it will help by 1%. But if you try to be an active solver, then it will help you by 50 to 60%. Again, there is again an element of 40% which you need a real practice. And when you play in your own games, you have to think this way. If you think in tactics differently, and if you think in your own games differently, this training or any training is not going to help. This is what I constantly tell to my students, and this is what I learned whenever I was trying to do some calculation exercises. You need to use your calculation or any sort of technique in your own games. Okay, black goes, you can go to d8, you can go to f8. If he goes to d8, then check. Helping stones, not this one, but this, and now you give bishop c5 check. Again, I would say the devices are disconnected, and I can just take this queen very happily. And if this king goes to f8, again the king holds his queen, queen with one hand, and we play bishop c5 check. And again, it's very subtle. The king goes and I can take your queen, and if the black forces try to defend the king and queen, and then this helping stone is black's undoing. Final move of the game, queen h8 mate. Again, thank you very much. This the pawn is there on f7. This is game over. So you can see how these dragons are deadly. I mean, they are too strong. Once they get that, if they can sense the blood in that diagonal, it's just too deadly. So check, and bishop c5, game over. Alright, now it's time for the real treat, and it's about the Bobby Fischer's game. It is black to play. I think this game was I would say published in thousands of books, and still in that time it was considered as game of century. Donald Bryan versus Robert James Fischer. It's his amazing game. It's a really, I like the way how Bobby Fischer was so good in understanding this overall quality of pieces, and we are so lucky that we were able to, I would say, get Bobby Fischer and his ideas and his contribution for chess. Alright, so black to play. For all these intermediate plus people and advanced people, I would definitely advise you, don't look at the solution. Try to find out from here. This is really a real calculation, I would say, and real understanding of attack. So it's a mixture of both. It is not just calculation and it is not just intuition. It's both. And if you don't want to do any hard work, if you just want to watch this fireworks in an armchair, you're welcome. Let's see. So black has to break the fortress in order to this dragon bishop, not this one, this dragon bishop and this dragon bishop. They need that dragon fire. They need that path to emit the fire. So he has to break the fortress. No wonder knight f2 takes, check, king g1 and knight e3. So any average player can get to this position, and after queen d2 a player will think for 5 minutes and he will assess the position, knight d1, rook d1, and he will be puzzled, like, is he really doing good, or it is white who has 2 pieces for a rook. But this is not what Bobby Fischer thought. Oh no, not again. Why these pieces go back and forth? I don't understand. Anyways, king g1 and knight e3, queen d2. And how did Bobby Fischer assess this position? How they understood, like, these dragons, they're going to get invincible in their paths. So Bobby was not interested in knight d1, but he was interested in this bishop. You can see his love for the bishops, and he quickly wants to eliminate the enemy bishops as well. So if you really find this amazing, black did knight g2 and king g2. This is very, very advanced attacking technique understanding. This bishop, just because it has come, the pawn has come to g3, and just because the bishop is not on g2, This diagonal is absolutely vulnerable. I mean, and okay, thanks to this bishop. If there is no bishop here, then this is nothing. I don't understand why this goes again and don't. Okay, so this is the position. Unbelievable. Okay, so king g2, and it's black's turn to play. What should black do, and what did black played in this position? How did Bobby get to it? Okay, we need this bishop on this diagonal, no secret. So black plays d4, amazing move. And thanks to this, all these squares are controlled. So we want to play queen d5 and bishop b7 and destroy this king with the dragon fire. True. That's my idea. So what you should do? So d4, knight takes d4, bishop b7 check. Alright, and you can see this weak diagonal, which is what Bobby counted on, king f1. And now you'll be wondering how I can get my queen to c6, d5, e4, and how I can checkmate the king. True. That it's for now it's well defended. I really don't know why this position gets, whenever I clear the colors, the position is going back to the first move. I really don't understand. Anyways, what you should do, you cannot bring the queen to d5, but we need the light squares belong to us. Why? Because we have a bishop and they don't. So the move is, if you found out, okay, queen f6 is a possible move, but I think queen f2, nothing is there. And if this check and all, I don't see anything. Okay, it's not queen f6, it's a very subtle move, queen d7. And the pleasure when you make this move on the chessboard, I will tell you, the happiness is unmatched to anything what you do. Okay, this is my personal experience. I have played some games like that, and the joy you get when you play this queen d7 is immeasurable, and it's too good. So queen d7, what a deadly threat on queen h3. Nothing can be done. Just too good. So white, Donald Bryan, his opponent tried knight b5, so that everything is together. Whoops. And something they have. So black plays queen h3 check, black goes to g1, and the last move, or I would say the last plan of Bobby Fischer, how these dragon bishops, the dragon fire, destroyed the white king. If you can go to the basics, you can realize that there are no minor pieces in near the king. All are to the opposite side of the board. This is definitely not a good thing for white. So what should white do? What should black do in the position after queen h3, king h1? He needs this bishop to give this check. What will you do? Bishop d4 check is not possible. One more is rook d8. That's pretty possible, but I think after queen f2, black is not able to find the remaining moves. So again, okay, the job of this bishop, the job of this bishop is too good. It's time for this bishop to join the party, and bishop h6. If you found this move bishop h6 before queen d7, I really salute you, and I really feel that you are now getting better and better in understanding the art of attack as well as the calculation. You need to find this move here when you play queen d7. Otherwise, after queen d7, without bishop h6, the combination is incomplete. And this bishop h6, what a move! And no matter where this queen goes, c2, b2, e2 is not possible, f2. Black is just going to play bishop e3 check, and he's going to mate on g2. Wow! For the viewers, or I would say my chess friends who haven't seen this beautiful game of Bobby, I recommend it earnestly to do take a look at it. And why Bobby Fischer is considered one of the greatest. For me, he is the greatest, but in the overall chess history, he is considered one of the greatest, because now we have all this Carlsen and Kasparov and all these guys. But the contribution of Bobby Fischer, the understanding of Bobby Fischer is so crystal clear. There are no such doubts, or I would say vague analysis. Everything is crystal clear. With clarity, he developed the game, and he used that understanding in his own games. So, thank you, Bobby Fischer, and what a beautiful example. Bishop e3 and game over. I'm just trying as a chess devotee to make this into smaller fragments and trying to add some color in it. I hope you enjoyed this game as well as the topic which I tried to illustrate you. Sometimes you might win a game with different idea, but you cannot forget you got that beautiful position because of some other idea. So as it is said, it's a teamwork. Even though chess is an individual game, finally it's a teamwork. All your pieces you have to play as a team, and you are the leader of the game. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I recorded the last one, but I'll be back soon with a new one. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.